Good morning. Happy bright and cherry Thursday morning. I'm wearing those earrings again that I don't know what color they are, so I don't know if they match. Because in the house, stepped in a hole. In the house, they matched, so I don't know, but whatever. It doesn't matter because I'm wearing them anyway. And I am not going to wear my Crocs to work, but I wasn't sure if the grass was wet. 93% humidity this morning. Can I tell you, it feels fantastic out here. Just absolutely fantastic. Not really. I didn't even put Penny's cute little harness vest thing on because it is just sticky. And I'm afraid she would get too hot already. It's not hot temperature wise, but humidity. If you know, you know, you know. Well, I saw on Facebook a couple of months ago that this group is selling badges for the police department that my dad retired from. They're centennial badges, 100 years. So it's my dad's Father's Day present early. So I asked him if he would like one, and of course he did. And then I told him I would have just ordered it, but they had a few different kinds. They had a kind you can wear on your shirt, jacket, whatever. It's got the big pin in the back, but that also fits in the wallet. Or they've got the kind that can clip on your belt or go into a special type of case for it. Anyway, long story short, he wanted one, and he wanted the kind with the pin on the back, and I went ahead and ordered him the wallet that goes with it. Well, I had no idea that it was delivered yesterday. I ordered that one, and then my dad called me a couple of days later and said he wanted the wallet, so I had to cancel that order and then place the order again so I could get the wallet. And then he called me back a day or two later and said he was thinking about getting the one for his belt. I said, I'm not canceling this order again. And he said, no, I'll buy this one. I said, okay. Okay. He said, I want both. And I said, okay, that's fine. So he told me yesterday that he had received his. And I was like, well, I haven't even received a message that mine's shipped yet. Please stand by. Now then, I'm really early today to make up for the other day. It's 7:35 and I'm already in the car. Whoop, whoop. Anyway, he got his, and I had not even heard from them. But I go out to water the front yard last night, and lo and behold, there is the one I ordered on my front porch. And I was like, well, I'll be darned. Look at there. It delivered. So I called Dad, and I said, can you step outside? Penelope and I drove over there last night to give him his badge. And I said, happy Father's Day. And we had to open them all and compare them and look at them and do all the things. Well, I told Penelope, I said, we're not getting out of the car, dear, because I hear German Shepherds. I know the bark of a German Shepherd, okay? I kept hearing all these very large dogs barking, and I was like, we're not getting out of the car, because I couldn't tell where they were coming from. I couldn't tell if they were loose. I couldn't tell nothing. So I said, we're just going to stay in the car and stay safe, okay? Because she thinks she's a big dog. What is that? Something about, if you can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch. She needs to stay on the porch. Long story short, he sees this woman walking down the road with a German Shepherd, and he goes, oh, there's Vicky and her German Shepherd. To which I turn around and look, and she's shaped like Vicky, and she has long brown hair pulled in a ponytail. And I was like, oh, well, when I leave, I'll go that way so I can speak to Vicky. Sounded like a good idea, didn't it? Have you ever waved at someone and then realized that the person you're waving at is not who you thought they were? And then you're kind of going from waving to like this is just normal behavior, and you're trying to hide your arm and pretend like maybe you were looking past them and waving to somebody else. You know, all the things that you do when you accidentally wave or speak or anything to someone you don't know. Well, that's what happened last night, except I didn't wave. No, I pulled up right next to her and rolled my window down. It was already down. Let's just be honest, it was already down. And what did I say? I said, aren't you afraid to be out here walking your dog? I was trying to be funny because it's such a big dog. And she turns her head to look at me. I said, you're not Vicky. And she said, no. I said, well, hey, anyway, I was just being funny about the aren't you afraid part, because I thought you were Vicky and you're walking a German Shepherd. And then I'm trying to explain all my weirdness away, and you can't explain all your weirdness away. No. But I got a couple of different stories rolling around in my brain, so I'm going to go with this one. I was walking Charlie. This is when I lived in the townhouse, and the townhouse was across the street from a Kroger shopping center. It had the Kroger, which is a grocery store, and like a florist and a Mexican restaurant that I used to eat at all the time. And the Kroger had a Chick-fil-A inside of it, and it had a hair salon, and it had an antique store. Man, I used to walk over there all the time. And then I could walk across another street and be in another shopping center, which is where I used to walk Charles and drop him off to get groomed. And then I would walk back down there. That's why I stayed so skinny, because we walked all over the place. Yeah, I've just recently, it's not really lazy, but Penny can't walk like that. Of course, in Charlie's. In Charlie's later years, he couldn't keep up like that. But anyway, we're walking behind the shopping center because it was wide open. I was never afraid over there. The rain will begin 30 minutes from now. You said it was going to begin at 3 o'clock. Rude. I hear someone walking up behind me, and he says something like, give me all your money, something. Well, I turn around, and as I turn around, I don't see the man that said it. I see this child standing there. And I'm looking at the child and looking at Charlie, because my first thought was not that this man had just said, give me all your money. My first thought was, I hope that child doesn't come over here, because Charlie doesn't like children. He didn't like little bitty kids, and this kid was little bitty at the time. I would just like to add at this point that the little boy was his nephew. No, it was his little brother. His dad had a baby way late. Anyway, back to the story. So, I'm trying to process all this stuff at the same time. Well, meanwhile, the guy who said, give me all your money, is also processing a lot of stuff at the same time. And I think deep down in my gut, I knew who it was. I glanced at him as my eyes went to the child, but I was more in fear for the child than I was of him. I didn't feel threatened. Well, all of a sudden, he turns quite ashen, because he remembers that Tracy doesn't walk alone, okay? Especially when I lived over there, because even though I was in a very nice area, it was surrounded by some not so nice areas, you know, little patches of high crime areas, okay? So I didn't walk alone, and by walking alone, I mean that I was armed, okay? I was armed. I wasn't too armed, because I can't raise this one, but I was armed. And he, after he said that, started realizing, oh crap, she carries. Is she going to me? And I'm thinking, Charlie's going to the kid. It turned out to be very funny after it was all over with, and all of that only took a matter of seconds to happen. You know, it takes you much longer to retell the story than what all actually transpired, but I finally looked at him, and yes, I did know him, and I started laughing, and then he started laughing, and he said, as soon as I said that, it occurred to me that you carry. And I was like, oh crap. I said, well, my first thought was not to, oh, thank God, I thought that was a turtle in the road, and I thought I was going to have to stop my car and get out and save the turtle because it was in the middle of the road. But as I drove by, it started rolling across the road, and it was a balled up paper bag. Please don't make me save a turtle on this road. Yeah, that was that funny story about he thought he was about to be deceased. Okay, toodles for now. See you later. Goodbye. Good afternoon. Guess who left work early and changed clothes? This girl. My boss came by and we took the class, and it was so easy. My boss said, you figure it all out and then you can teach us, okay? And I was like, I don't think it'll be a problem. Then we went and got lunch at Chipotle, and that was very good, and I brought the rest of it home for dinner. But I wanted to read you another article that I found fascinating, okay? And I'm sure with my great reading abilities, y'all will enjoy it, because you know how I always like to mess things up, but not on purpose. Okay, the name of this story, which reminded me of a story which someone told me in the comments the other day, their story about bringing stuff back from other countries. And I remember when I came back from Mexico, I brought a big bottle of Kahlua, and I kept thinking that I was gonna be arrested and go to some Mexico prison for trying to smuggle Kahlua out of the country, because I didn't really understand whether that was legal or not. And Reba kept telling me, oh, it'll be fine. I was just a little nervous, okay? But I am glad to say that I did not have to go to jail in Mexico or in Atlanta for my bottle of Kahlua. Now, why did I have to bring it back from Mexico? I don't know, because they sell the same brand here. So I could have just bought it here. But that was back in my drinking days, and I loved me some Kahlua. Some Kahlua in a glass of milk. Yeah, milk. Ugh, it was like a milkshake, though. It was delicious. I have this guy that I used to work with. His name's Mike, and he said the drunkest he ever got was drinking my chocolate milk. I may have told him it was chocolate milk and it was Kahlua, but whatever. He should have known it wasn't just chocolate milk. Okay, so the name of this article is Mummified Monkey Remains Were Found in Luggage at Boston's Airport. Boston. Okay, Boston. That's how you have to say it, Boston. I'm going to flip the camera around real quick just to show you. Oh, back up. The mummified monkey remains. Stand by. Looky there. Mummified monkey remains. And I don't know what all that stuff is off to the side, but that's just disturbing. Now then, so it says, the traveler at Boston Logan International Airport said the bag contained dried fish. I mean, still, sir, why are you bringing in dried fish? Does that make it any better? Maybe. But upon further examination, airport agents discovered that it was in fact mummified remains, which included heads belonging to 4 monkeys. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said in a statement, the incident, wouldn't I make a great news person? The way I read stories and do stuff like that. Wouldn't that be fun to watch rather than everybody being all serious all the time. But the incident took place on Thursday at security screening for passengers. A canine officer named Buddy, good boy Buddy, sniffed out the dead and dehydrated monkeys from inside luggage belonging to a traveler who recently returned to the United States from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Raw or minimally processed meat from a certain wild animal, otherwise known as bush meat, is not allowed to enter the U.S. largely out of health concerns. Bush meat can carry germs that can cause illnesses, including the Ebola virus. Now, why would you bring that in, sir? Julio Caravilla, the area port director at CBP Boston, said in a statement. The traveler on Thursday carried about 8 pounds of bush meat. I never thought I'd say bush meat so many times in a sentence. The Centers for Disease Control marked it for destruction, according to the CBP. Airport agents around the country have encountered a variety of meats. In 2022, agents at Washington Dulles Airport confiscated charred bat. In 2019, officers at O'Hare International intercepted about 32 pounds of rat meat. Rat meat. Why are you bringing rat meat into the country? What are you doing with that rat meat? Ugh. I'll be back. Hi. As per usual, I got a phone call, so I had to take a break from recording, and I need a studio so that I can block all calls and have an assistant to take calls and say, I'm sorry, but Miss Tracy Tries is busy making a video. You will have to call her back later, or she will call you back, but she has the do not disturb sign out. Yeah, like that's ever gonna happen. Anyway, I left work because we were having all kind of crazy storms, and they kept talking about tornadoes and tornado watches in my area and all this stuff, and now it's beautiful outside. Not that I'm complaining, but what happened? I mean, the way they kept coming in, the news alerts about the tornadoes and all that stuff, and hail and damaging winds and all that, I was like, hey, after we eat lunch, I'm going on home for the rest of the day. And my boss was like, good, I'd rather have you at home with your babies in this terrible storm. And it's like I backed in the driveway and the sun came out. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. Tomorrow. I've got to work tomorrow. Very exciting news about my garden. I now have, I think, 3 tomatoes growing. One of them's already about that big around. And then I had 2 big yellow blooms on my cucumber. Hopefully I'm going to soon have cukes growing. Cucumber. Remember that from yesterday's video? Cucumber. The pickup line. That was a fun video to make. I like those pickup lines. It's just funny stuff, you know. I love dad jokes. Oh, let me look up a dad joke or two, and I'll tell you those, because I get tickled over dad jokes. Hold on just a second. Are you still there? They always make me laugh. I once submitted 10 puns to a joke competition. I really thought with that many, one was sure to be a winner. Sadly, No pun intended. Why did the old man fall down the well? He couldn't see that well. Dad, what's the difference between a piano, a tuna, and a pot of glue? Me, I don't know. Dad, you can tune a piano, but you can't piano a tuna. Me, what about a pot of glue? Dad, I knew you'd get stuck on that. Two windmills were sitting on a hill. One asked the other, "Do you have a favorite song?" The other replies, "Well, all my life I have been a heavy metal fan." Today at the bank, an old lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. That's not very nice. How many stormtroopers does it take to change a light bulb? None, because they're all on the dark side. If your house is cold, just stand in the corner. It's always 90 degrees there. Hi, I'm Cliff. Drop over sometime. I ran out of air. Hi, I'm Cliff. Drop over sometime. That's not very nice. Dad, when he puts the car in reverse. Ah, this takes me back. What do you call the security guards for Samsung? Guardians of the Galaxy. I was making a joke about retirement. It didn't work. All right, that's enough. Okay, I'll chat with y'all tomorrow. Have a good evening. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, which will be tomorrow, I hope. Toodles, my noodles, and stay silly, my friends. Goodbye.